Hey, this is Haplin, and in this video, we're going to talk about how to expand your business network. So previously, we talked about leveraging your personal network and reaching out to folks who you might be connected to who own a business, as well as just people in your community who own a business, businesses in your community that you frequent, that you're a customer of, that you have some connection to, that you know have a good reputation, etc. As you're prospecting those businesses, you want to keep in mind not only are you potentially going to be making a sale directly to those businesses, but you have another way to gain value out of those connections, which is to ask for more connections. So we're talking about second degree connections here. When you're in that conversation with your brother-in-law or your extended family member or a friend of a friend or whoever, not only are you potentially talking about providing your service to that business, but whether or not they are interested. Certainly, if they are interested, if they become a client, if you have a roster of clients, you should absolutely be asking all of them if they themselves are well connected to other business owners like them. Many of them are in different groups or in different cohorts of people who are all trying to help grow similar businesses together. That's super common. And even if they're not, they may just be connected to other people who could use the service. And if you're having productive conversations, certainly if you get into a situation where you're actually able to demonstrate some value for those businesses, then you're very, very likely to have a great opportunity to expand your network with referrals. So we call these very soft referral asks, where you're just weaving them into the conversations that you're already having anyways. We don't necessarily have to incentivize or pressure anyone, but we do just want to stay open and be willing to ask for more connections to be made with the people that we're talking to about these important topics. And then once you have that sort of on lock, then your step 2 here is how to meet brand new people, people that you have no previous connection to, no warm facilitation. Obviously, the referrals are great because there's this warm facilitation. You have a little bit of momentum built up in that you at least both know the same person, and ideally there's some trust built around that connection, etc. But even if you have none of that, you can start totally from scratch meeting brand new people. We have seen many a SaaSpreneur succeed in taking their first steps and starting to build momentum in their business, specifically by joining their vibrant business communities. This is the best way to expand your professional network, whether or not you're doing the SaaSpreneur thing, regardless of your offer. Just in terms of general networking, we see this as being really, really effective in your entrepreneurial development. Joining your local business community. Some examples of the business community include your local Chamber of Commerce, Business Networking International, social networking apps such as Meetup, and then there's lots of industry-specific or niche-specific groups, events, connections that you can attend and just start rubbing shoulders. And then, of course, there are practically infinite online communities, different Facebook groups, different social media groups, etc., that are all about entrepreneurial development, people looking for solutions to help grow their businesses in specific industries or just across the board. Now, having said that, here are some of the best practices that we have seen work really well in terms of how to approach embedding yourself into these different communities. One, you want to pay respect to the leaders and to the members of the group. Don't lead with your sales foot. Don't get sleazy or slimy. Just try to make connections with people. This is not really just about making sales. And if you're going into this with a full client acquisition mindset, it's easy to shoot yourself in the foot just in terms of the vibe you give off, the pressure you put on people. We really want to step away from that and just focus on meeting new people who are like-minded. This can be a really rewarding activity in and of itself. And so I highly encourage of you to think about its value that it provides in and of itself in terms of helping you expand your community and your business connections. 2, you want to get good at explaining what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're interested in. Practice it a few times. We call it sometimes an elevator pitch. You want to have your elevator pitch down, a quick, less than 30 seconds, 15-second explanation of what it is you're about and what it is you're doing there in a way that's pretty neutral and, again, doesn't put any pressure on anyone or make them think that you're just there to try to get them to do something like work with you. So a good example of an elevator pitch was actually found in our prospecting script from the last module when we just had that brief description of ourselves. I help businesses implement AI employees in order to gain leverage and save revenue. Something like that is a great starting place just to be able to confidently communicate what it is you're about, what value you provide. And then on the other hand, a really great tool for differentiating yourself is to get more interested in the work of others. Ask other people what they're doing there. It may be possible that you connect with other digital service providers who are doing the same thing as you. It may be that you're connecting with a local business who ends up being a great opportunity to make a sale. Some point down the line. You could meet all kinds of different people, but by getting interested in what they're doing and by asking them questions about their work, not only are you being very respectful and you're going to make more friends, but you're going to learn a lot about how to position yourself and all the different opportunities to potentially work with other people in those groups. And lastly, in many of these business groups, you have the opportunity to give a group presentation. Many of the leaders of these groups are looking for people to share more information, to provide value, give little seminars, etc. And you can certainly connect with them and see if there's any opportunity for you to be a part of that. So that's it for this module. I want to commend you and congratulate you in advance for taking action based on the prescriptions found here. We know now how to be asking for referrals or second degree connections from the people we're already talking with. And we now have a couple ideas on how to expand our business network by joining local business communities and potentially even presenting to them. There are, of course, about 100 more examples of ways that you could expand your business network that we're not going to have time to cover here. But I wanted to cover these two specifically because that is what we've seen in the high-level community as being the most common patterns of success among entrepreneurs trying to do the same thing that we're trying to do here. For those of us who are naturally a little bit more introverted, such as myself, it can take an extra bit of courage to put ourselves out there and start taking action along the lines of actually expanding our prospecting network, expanding our business network. But it's an incredible opportunity for personal and professional development. So I highly recommend that you take advantage of that. On the other hand, some of the more extroverted among us have been known to jump into these prospecting activities with vigor and sometimes even create a bit of a bull in a china shop effect. So I highly recommend that you reflect upon these prescriptions. At the end of the day, this is your business and it is ultimately your responsibility. That said, now that you have some good ideas for how to expand your business network based on what we've seen be most successful in our community of SaaSpreneurs, you can go ahead and move on to the next module.